Hi, my name's Anna and I'm from Mini Munch Club. We're here today to talk about Baby Led Weaning, our journey with Baby Led Weaning and how we found out about it and got on with it. I've got two children, Noah and Arlo. Noah is coming up 6 next month and Arlo is 2.
My name's Sarah and I'm Anna's sister, and I've got two children as well, same sort of age as Anna's children. My daughter's 5 and my little boy is nearly 3.
Okay, so I think the thing that sticks in my mind really in relation to sort of finding out about Baby Led Weaning and how it all started was, Noah, for me, it was a different journey really, wasn't it, with our eldest, because Noah was very early and therefore Baby Led Weaning wasn't even an option for me. It had to be weaning with mush.
As in he was premature, wasn't
Very
he?
premature, yeah. So for me, I didn't really sort of think about there being any other options, and to be honest, didn't really know there was any other options. I just assumed that weaning with mush was the way forward, and I think a lot of people still think like that now, and I know very much that it seems to be that's the way health is to talk about weaning. It always seems very much just about the traditional mush route. So I remember we went out for a picnic and Josie was sort of 6 months at that time, and I looked over and she was sat there playing with some broccoli and I think some carrot sticks, and I remember thinking, what's she doing? And I said to Sarah, like, what are you doing? this is a bit weird. And so that was the first time I'd ever seen Baby Led Weaning in action, kind of thing, and that was when I sort of started questioning you about how you'd heard about it and sort of what it was all about, really. So I don't know, what was it? How did you get introduced to it?
It was a friend that told me about Baby Led Weaning. I hadn't heard of it initially, and I was already with my weaning with mush type books, thinking I'm going to be pureeing all my foods and be a good mum and get it all healthy and in the freezer in the little pots. And then a friend of mine said, have you heard of Baby Led Weaning? And she gave me a book, the Jill Rapley book, Mush Stops Here, I think it's called. No, can't remember. And I read it and it just really appealed to me. I'm an occupational therapist, and the idea of Baby Led Weaning is very much about the child learning the skill of eating and practicing with different foods and hand-to-mouth coordination, being independent, and that just really appealed to me as an occupational therapist, and I thought, I'm going to give this a go. And she did well. I mean, there was things at the beginning that all mums find a bit difficult. Feel like it's a bit slow to start, but very quickly they pick up the idea. And I started going to sort of groups and meeting other mums that were doing it. And my daughter Josie would almost be like a demo kind of baby, really, because she was able to sit there and eat normal foods, and kind of the reaction from people, they were really impressed with how she was eating, and that really spurred me on to want to do it. And family and friends would come round and be like, wow, she's just eating normal food. And it
when you say normal food, you mean solids?
Yeah, and right. Yeah. So we can go out to a pub and you can order a dish of fresh vegetables, and they can eat that while you're having your pub meal, and you haven't got to sit there separately, kind of spoon feeding. They're just part of the meal, part of the family thing.
And I think that was a big thing for me, sort of talking about having to spoon feed a baby, because I found the whole mush weaning really stressful and quite difficult, didn't I? And the whole sort of preparing everything and liquidising or mushing and then freezing little pots and sort of making sure that I was giving him enough different dishes and different flavours and different colours, and everything seemed to turn out the same colour that you mushed. And I just found the whole weaning with purees and mush really stressful. Didn't enjoy it at all, and then obviously you come to the point where they're slightly older and they can start to refuse being spoon fed, and some days he wouldn't have anything because he just wouldn't let me put the spoon in his mouth, and I remember finding that really stressful,
especially when you've taken ages preparing it.
And
ended up chucking it in the bin,
and then sort of that worry, have they eaten enough? And I really worried about the variety of food, because it just, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was maybe giving him enough variety. So sort of seeing Josie and her relationship with food and the way that you could just give her what you were eating, and obviously in that way, it needed to be made. We needed to make sure that it was home cooked, healthy stuff, didn't it? So it's, you know, it's very much about healthy family meals and them learning for you with learning from you. So it's about eating all together as a family and eating home cooked, healthy foods that they can join in with, and sort of seeing that really made me realise that just weaning with puree and mush just wasn't the way I'd want to go.
And often we'll get together and have a big family meal with mum and dad, and it's the kids, you know, from 6 months are just sat at the table eating the same meal as the rest of us, and it just, you can relax and sort of switch off, and it's not a separate thing, they're part of it.
And it makes them very independent with their food, doesn't it? They can make, you know, they can choose how much they want to eat, so they control their intake, and also it's about them choosing, you know, what foods they're going to have, and it's very much if they don't like one food one day, you know, it's not to give it to them again, but to give it to them, you know, keep giving them different things, and generally they'll taste everything, but it's about giving them that independence really, and that choice.
And they're really good table manners now as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because I think they know what eating around a table together is all about. They learn from us, they learn from their older brother and sister, the little ones do. And, you know, meal times are not stressful. They're just family meal times, which is what it's all about. Yeah,
and the older children definitely enjoyed sort of teaching the younger children, I think, as well, which made it very sort of inclusive with everyone.
So if you want to find out more about Baby Led Weaning, then go to our site, and we've got a really good essential guide to Baby Led Weaning. It's free, you can subscribe, and it will break down what you need to be thinking about in those first sort of month or so of Baby Led Weaning, and we share lots of recipe ideas that the whole family can enjoy. So come and join us on Mini Munch Club.